heaven. I'm on the bus right now, the Greyhound, and I'm heading back to. Hey, good morning, Tom. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm streaming from my phone. Can you hear me? So let me know. You can just type a one or like yes, all clear. I just want to make sure people can see me and people can hear me. Just just starting the live stream, starting about 5 minutes late. I'm actually streaming from the Greyhound bus. I'm actually leaving Chicago right now and heading back to Detroit. And this is probably going to be a short broadcast today. It's probably going to be. Oh, and is it that you can't hear me, or is it that you can't? Is it that the volume's not great? I might be able to help with the volume. Hold on. Or I may not be able to do anything. I'm going to try to see if I can help with the volume. But you can see okay, yeah? Is it because there's oh the okay. Well, sorry about the choppy audio. But how's the volume, you guys? Is the volume okay? Hey, new person who's watching. So just so you guys, I'm just gonna let you guys know that I'm streaming today from. I'm on a Greyhound bus and I'm heading back to Detroit. And the bus was very late, so I would have had more time to kind of get myself set up and test things out. But oh, thanks so much for inviting 174 fans to the live stream this morning. I hope everyone's well, and like I said, I hope most of you can hear me. Yeah. So, and welcome again. Welcome to folks who, yeah. So I can't find my headphones. I think I may have left my headphones in. Okay, so good. So it sounds good. And so what I'm going to try to do is keep my mouth when I'm talking. I'm going to try to keep my mouth a little bit closer to the microphone. But yeah. So as I said before, I'm streaming from the Greyhound bus heading back to Detroit, and just had a really amazing couple of days hanging out with Julian Boal, who was giving a workshop here at the Goodman Theater, which was amazing. Um, oh, cool. And it also, you guys should know that because I'm on the bus, I think there's a Wi-Fi, so I don't know if it's automatically picking up the Wi-Fi or if this is just like Sprint, who's providing our access to the internet today. So, how's everyone doing today? Hey, Kearney. Hi, Tom. So, you guys should also know that I'm not wearing my glasses, and this tiny print on my phone. I can barely see who's coming into the room. So, so a lot of stuff has happened. A lot of stuff has happened since last week. And as I said before, this is probably going to be a pretty short stream. We'll probably maybe go 20 to 30 minutes because I feel like that's probably as long as people sitting on the bus can listen to the sound of my voice. Can listen to the sound of my voice, just like talking to myself. But again, as I said before, I'm traveling back, so I'm on the bus, so it's not as convenient. But I didn't want to do nothing today because it's just gotten to the point where we can stream again. So I'm excited about the fact that the streams are archiving again to YouTube, so that's pretty cool. I also may be asking you guys for a lot of help because I normally don't stream from my phone, so I'm not as comfortable with this technology this way, and I don't know if people are interested in guesting and things like that. But we may forgo guesting because I think that might just get a little complicated, and you guys won't just be talking to me; you'll be talking to a whole bus full of people, and again, that might get really annoying. But I just want to kind of let you guys know what's going on for the next couple of weeks, um, and like hear from you. So feel free to um, post questions and things like that, and hopefully that'll serve for our interaction today for the live stream. Um, so as you guys know, there's so many things going on. I was actually just reading a story, just kind of getting caught up on the search warrant for the service provider for um, Disrupt J20. I don't know if you guys know anything about it, but the website Disrupt J20, which was used to do a lot of the organizing for the demonstrations that happened around the inauguration of Donald Trump, and also have been kind of a place where people can continue doing organizing, but the Justice Department has decided to kind of to go after anyone who is signed up as a member of that website. Basically, if you've signed up to be on their mailing list, if you visited that site, they are asking for those names to be released. And I believe there's like 200 names of people who were, I don't know if there's some number. Oh, actually, no, there also were 200 people who have been arrested for attending the protest during the inauguration, and they're saying basically that they were trumped up charges, and they keep using the term trumped up charges, and I'm imagining that that's intentional. And again, if you guys are having any trouble hearing me, please do let me know. Anyway, so there's this lawsuit that's asking for the names of not only people who have signed up for disruptj20.org. I believe it's disruptj20.org. Not only are they asking for the names of anybody who's signed up, they're asking for the names of people who have simply visited, which is a lot of people. And so I'm looking at this as sort of in terms of what kind of intimidation is this? How does this affect freedom of expression, freedom of assembly? Because if simply organizing protest is now somehow being criminalized, what does that mean in terms of the stripping of civil liberties? And I'd love to know what you guys know about that. Yeah, so I mean, I'm not even sure what the charge is. I'm just starting to get caught up on the story. I've fallen behind, and there's been, as you guys know, there's been a lot of news this week. We know that Steve Bannon has stepped down as a senior advisor to the White House, and that is very meaningful. And there's been a lot of speculation around that. Some people said that he was, fired, but there was a report that he had actually delivered his letter of resignation weeks ago, and so that's a story that I've been following a little bit more closely. And so this story, and obviously there's the follow-up, all the follow-up about the violence in Charlottesville, Virginia. And so this is a story that I'm really just getting up to speed in, and it's a really interesting pivot to shift the narrative, right, from one where we are interrogating the White House and we're interrogating Donald Trump for his refusal to denounce hatred, bigotry, anti-Semitism, racism, white supremacy. He's been yeah. And hello, I think Mandy the vegan. You guys, I'm so embarrassed. Like I said, I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm going to be. It might take me I might misread your questions, but I really do want to get to the questions that you all are asking. Also, Mandy the vegan, thank you for inviting fans to the broadcast. Okay. So someone says, I'm not surprised I will look. I was focused on the release of info on hate groups in Kentucky. Oh, I wasn't aware of that. EnviroCro, do you mind sharing a little bit of details about that? And you guys, you have to forgive me, but I'm about to bust out my glasses because I really can't see this without it. So it's going to get a little wonky. Hold on. All right, don't make fun, Okay, cool. Thanks, Enviro Curl. Yeah, Tom Hall says it's just the surveillance state exercising eternal vigilance. Go back to sleep. Yeah, yeah. It's really disturbing, this move, because although it may not necessarily come to anything. There may be, there may be a stay on the warrant or what have you. There's talk that maybe the judge didn't understand the specifics of the warrant because the places to be searched and what might be seized was included in the warrant request as an attachment. And so there's some thinking that perhaps the judge just didn't understand what they were signing when they signed the warrant, and of course the service provider, actually the hosting service, which I believe is Dream something, I can't think of what it is. So if it's to look that up and provide us with the name of the service provider to disrupt J20, that would be awesome, and just post that in the chat, and I'll read that off to everyone. But so they refuse to release the information, and they got their own outside counsel, and they're also working with a not-for-profit who's kind of advising on the case. Okay, so the Southern Poverty Law Center released a map identifying hate groups, and that is available. Enviro Curl is saying at WKM as in Mary, S as in Sam.org. Okay, thanks so much, Enviro Curl, for providing that information. Yeah, so Mandy the Vegan is saying they got a good lawyer and are fighting it. Yes, that is the truth. So, but here's the issue. So even if they are successful in fighting the case, think of what this means in terms of people who may have, you know, been anxious about civic engagement, and this type of civic engagement with it, which is obviously, something that's protected by the Constitution. But people may be apprehensive to be engaged in this way. People may be apprehensive to march, especially now when we look about what happened in Charlotte, and we're talking about now seen as dangerous, but now they're also being seen as yes, yes. Enviro Curl, you hit it on the nose. Absolutely, the silent moderates will hide for sure. So people who have maybe just been activated this way, have just become civically engaged in this way, may find themselves backing off because they don't want the hassle of being part of a lawsuit or being part of an investigation just because they went to a website. Really insidious about that, because it's not simply a matter of people being arrested in protest, which is horrible. As I said, 200 people were arrested at the march during the inauguration of Donald Trump. And word is that they may be facing up to 20 years in prison on charges that are not very clear, simply for engaging in a protest. But if people feel like they may be penalized somehow or find themselves under investigation simply for reading information, for seeking access to information, this could be a huge blow to.
Okay, folks, first of all, I'd like to say hello.
Hello. They're making an announcement on the bus. Excuse me, guys. We're going to listen to this.
Hello.
My name is Brandon. I'll be your driver this evening to as far as Detroit, Michigan. Estimated arrival time to Detroit's about 5:20. We're about 30 minutes late, so let's aim for 5:45 into downtown Detroit. Now we're gonna make scheduled stops. We're gonna make Kalamazoo.
Yes.
We'll get into Kalamazoo roughly about, let's say, about 3 o'clock.
All right.
We'll get into Ann Arbor. We're gonna say roughly about 5 o'clock. Could be sooner. Could be, we're just a little late, so I'm adding some time on it. And we'll get to downtown Detroit about 5:45ish. A little reminder, please, no smoking on the coach. If you're playing a radio with headphones, please turn your cell phone. This coach is equipped with electrical outlet, and I believe it has Wi-Fi.
that it? All right.
Hey.
So sorry. So sorry. Yeah.
First scheduled stop is going to be Kalamazoo. Sit back, relax, during your trip. Thanks for going, Greyhound.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So you guys. I was in Chicago. Those who aren't been in Chicago for the last couple of, I actually post a couple of update videos, just like raw videos, to the YouTube channel. So if you check out a little bit of that, not much. I actually went to one. You guys, you have to forgive me. I went to one kind of a press. It was a group of folks who insisted that the governor sign a new bill that is going to ensure that health services be provided to anyone who might be, pregnant, even if, in the case that Roe v. Wade is stricken down. And so there's a video about that, and it's rather long because I ended up videotaping the entire thing at, I believe it's at the Thompson Center in Chicago. Oh, Mandy the Vegan says, I found the hate map, www.splc enter or splcenter.org hate map, and you guys can read it down there. So if you just scroll through, you'll see that information has been included. And I'm hoping that this live stream will definitely arrive to the YouTube channel, and I'll go in any information that was in I'll add any information that was in the chat to that. So, oh yeah, Tom Hall, that was really cool, right? And one of the things I loved about that was they were mostly teenagers, and I think there was I want to say that it had a cute factor, and I think the cute factor forced a lot of people to listen. So I think that there are a lot of people who became aware of that issue just because it was being presented in that very particular way. And yes, the balloons being released at the end of it was amazing, and all of those balloons were inscribed with these kind of wishes or messages, powerful messages, and to the governor, urging them to sign the bill. So yeah, so hoping for the best with that. And as I said, now I'm heading back to Detroit. Likely we're going to cut the live stream short just because I'm on a bus and I really don't want people to have to listen to the sound of my voice for a full hour. I don't think that will be necessarily pleasant to everyone because it's a little loud and disruptive. A little loud and disruptive to know it, and maybe this is my way of apologizing to anybody who might be listening to the sound of my voice right now. Anyway, so those are the things that are going on. So I can let you guys know for sure I'm going to be talking a lot next week in the videos. Yes, and Viral Pro says, thank you, Mandy the Vegan. Yes. So I'm going to be talking a lot in the videos next week about updating about what's going on with, obviously with Steve Bannon, and I have a lot of thoughts about that. I'm particularly disturbed by the very violent language that Steve Bannon has been using, talking about, he has his hands on his weapons again. That's what he's saying. He has his hands on his weapons. And the idea that he's weaponized the press. And if he's weaponized the press, who is he intending to use those weapons on? And I imagine that he's, targeting those towards, voices of dissent, right? Any voices of dissent. So, yes. And so Mandy, the vegan, is saying, and that he's going to war. And who do people feel with? And this is the media, right? Is he going to war with the media, or is he going to war against, the public that might stand against this particular administration? So all of that is, a very, very disturbing. And so I'll be talking about that next week. I'll definitely be talking about the Department of Justice seeking the addresses, phone numbers, names, addresses, and phone numbers of people who have signed up for disruptj20.org. And definitely, so I'll definitely be following that up. I'll also be there's a few documentaries that I had already planned to review, so we're going to be getting more reviews. And you guys should let me know. How do you like the reviews? Are you like is that um, do you like the reviews? I actually like making the reviews. I actually like watching the films and sharing them and making the film recommendations, especially when I feel like they offer the information needed to have a little bit of a deeper analysis of what's happening right now in the world, in the country. Um, and it's really funny because after watching several of the documentaries, I'd like to go back and redo some of the. I'll probably be going back and redoing or doing at least second takes on videos that I've made in the past where I've touched on issues and said, I don't know a lot about this, but, I just want to call this out as something that should be questioned. Well, now I feel like I have more information to share with you on some of those topics and maybe some ways to frame them slightly differently than I have in the past. So, Collerton says there's no justice in this world. There never was, and there never, and I believe this is going to be continued. Um, and, I would say I want to let you finish your statement before I comment on that. So just we'll keep that coming. Um, Again, as I said before, I'm probably not going to keep this. We've been going about 22 minutes now. I'll probably go for like another 10 minutes. Um, so again, I would love to hear your questions, get your thoughts on the topics. If anybody would like to propose some topics, or if you have something that you think that I should be getting into that in the coming weeks, please do let me know about that. Otherwise, you guys may be interested in the fact that in 10 days I'm going to be heading back to Brooklyn. I'm going to be teaching my Theater of the Oppressed for Civic Engagement course at Pace University, and I've given you guys a lot of information. I'll be meeting students anyway, and there's probably going to be a you know a video component to that where I'm going to hope to have them get engaged in some of in some conversations about engaged in conversations about issues that are relevant to them, and so it's playing some of what comes out of the course with you. Oh, okay. So yeah. So the Coleridge's whole statement was, "There's no justice in this world. There never was, and there never." And I'm guessing that there's, you know, it's a I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what that really means. I think I understand your sentiment where you're coming from. It's kind of a bleak one, and I tend not to try to think in that way. I think that the way that we the life is it's dialectical, right? There's the striving for justice, and then there are those who are their justice in and of itself causes suffering in places in the world, and there are misunderstandings that are involved in that, and it's necessarily a black and white issue. I think that it's a process, an ongoing process, and I don't think it's certainly I don't see it as a destination. So maybe there will never, maybe it will always be, as long as we're here, if we can manage to keep that happening, which would be a good thing. Some may disagree, but as long as we can keep ourselves focused on what we're striving for and try to be as confident and thoughtful and strategic in the way that we try to achieve those goals, and think about like what are our values and how do we want to live those values. I think that that's more important than pointing the finger at like the state of the world as it is right now, right? Because that may never be perfect or anything even close to perfect. Yeah, Tom Hall says it's always a struggle. It gives our lives meaning, um, and it's really easy to say that, but it's not that easy to live that, Tom. And I think you agree with that. Mandy the Vegan says, "Have you heard of a group called the Yes Men?" Yes, I have heard of a group called the Yes Men. I think they're wonderful. They do political pranks, and just posed as members of the DNC and infiltrate to check that out. Thanks for sharing that. All right, so you guys were checking in this morning. I really wanted to do more than just post a video telling you that there wasn't going to be a live stream today. As you guys can see, I'm in transit, so I'm going to try to make up for the lack of. I'm going to try to make up for the fact that we didn't spend much time together by. I'm going to try to make up for the fact that we didn't spend that much time together by posting some decent content for you all next week out the YouTube channel. It's just my name, so check out Reg Flowers at YouTube. The Red Flowers channel on YouTube. So please do. And for those of you, I hope this archives. Certainly, for those of who are trying to watch this on YouTube, and if you are like this video, if you like it, subscribe. All right. So lots of love to all of you. This is Reg signing off. Love yourselves.